Welcome back to our live cryptocurrency video trading series. Today we are talking about the privacy sector and Zclassic forking into Bitcoin Private. You heard that right. Bitcoin Private. This is a fork of a fork of a fork. So what is going on here in the crypto privacy sector? Well, first of all, what is the ideal coin? Okay, the what is this is what I call the quadratic axis of crypto. Okay, the crypto universe essentially revolves around four major issues: speed, cost, centralization, and privacy. And the latest attempt at a grand unifying solution to all of crypto's woes comes from a hall of crypto mirrors. That's right, a fork of a fork of a fork. It's a fork of Zclassic, which itself is a fork of Zcash, which itself is a fork of Bitcoin. And the name, tentatively, and I think this will be the name, is going to be Bitcoin Private. And so I'm calling it a MetaFork because it's so many layers of forking here. And it's the brainchild of Rhett Creighton, who is bringing it all to the table by combining, or saying he hopes to combine speed, low cost, and decentralized mining with the most advanced privacy protocol available. So Zcash has the most advanced privacy protocol that exists, and if you look at the privacy sector here, you can see I put the Z's right up next to each other. So there's Zcash, which has the most advanced privacy protocol called ZK Snarks. Okay, and then there's Zcoin, all right, which actually has a less advanced privacy protocol. It has the zero coin protocol, but it doesn't. The encryption isn't as high a level as that of Zcash. And then there's Zclassic, which is a fork of Zcash, which does have the ZK snarks, which are the highest level of encryption both for amounts and addresses. Now, why is that important? Why is it important to have encryption for amounts and addresses? Well, the integrity of the blockchain is maintained by a unique structure that makes it publicly transparent but personally private. So, what that means is that anyone can follow the chain of transaction amounts that are woven through the blockchain. And this is an example of actually a detective, an investigative agency investigating the Mt. Gox hack. And you can follow the chain of transactions through the blockchain as they weave through the blockchain from public address to public address. But the private keys and the identities of the owners, so those private keys that link to those public addresses, those are encrypted like passwords. But the transparency of all this metadata, okay, means that you don't have to be a Sherlock Holmes to piece together a detailed transaction history of anyone that you'd like to snoop on, if you are so inclined to snoop. So that's why privacy is important. Now, the zero coin protocol changes all that by enabling the mining of historyless coins. In other words, coins that don't have a history. They don't have a transaction chain going back. They just poof, appear on the blockchain. And the protocol, it relies on something called zero knowledge proofs. And that sounds pretty esoteric. It's some cryptographic sleight of hand that allows you to prove you have information without revealing the contents of that information. And that's important for the zero coin protocol because it can prove that you're entitled to mint brand new coins with no history. Okay, here's a normal blockchain where the coins are woven throughout the blockchain and anybody can follow them. Okay, and here's a zero coin blockchain where the coins are minted brand new, so they have no history. They're not linked to the previous coins. And what you have to do is use a zero knowledge proof to prove that you're entitled to mint those new coins and burn those old coins without revealing anything about the coins themselves. So no history, no previous transaction data, or anything like that. So no sender, receiver, transaction data. And So what Zclassic was a fork of Zcash, and they eliminated the founder's fee. Both coins have the same privacy protocol, and perhaps Zclassic's disappointing performance was an unintended consequence of its core value proposition. Without the fees, there was little incentive for the team to work on improving it, and it languished below $5 for much of 2017, while Zcash soared to a high of $700. Here is Zcash going back to the December high. This is a, let's see, this is in December was at 698, and actually in January was higher. It was over 700. Was 755. So that's the purple line right here on the chart. So Zcash was soaring all throughout 2017. Even down here, it was over $300. But Zclassic was not doing so well. Okay, let's look at Zclassic and go. Let's go to the full history of Zclassic, and you can see that. Let's see. Let's go to the last 6 months. Okay, you can see that for most of 2017 here, it was down here in the $2, $3, $4 range. Okay, so that's the difference, and so Zcash was doing a lot better than Zclassic, and perhaps that had to do with eliminating that that founder's fee. So Bitcoin Private is Creighton's attempt to revitalize the Zclassic project, and it's like I said, it's a fork of a fork of a fork. So that means there's a double airdrop. All right. So when the fork was announced in December, and once it became clear there was going to be a double airdrop, prices jumped in early 2018 to an all-time high of 221. Then in mid-February they rose again, but had a precipitous pre-fork nosedive from $200 all the way down to $11 in less than 2 weeks. So let's just look at that. This is Zclassic. Okay, and you can see that it jumped up in January to a high over $200. Here it's 208, and then it jumped up again to just under $200, and then from February 19th to today, March 2nd, it dropped all the way from $190 down to $12. So it's trading right now at $11. So that's a pretty precipitous drop prior to the fork. And investors are hoping that the value of Bitcoin Private will more than make up for the losses in Zclassic. And instead of being left holding the bag, they'll be holding the new privacy crypto that does it all: speed, low cost, and decentralized mining, all bundled together with the most advanced privacy protocol ever devised. So hopefully this video has given you some valuable information that you can put to use to make better, more informed, more research-based cryptocurrency investment decisions. Ciao for now.